I think alchemy was like the last skill in Skyrim that I ever explored. Like, it took me until the 2020s to actually fully dive into it. When I was a kid, I rarely ever hit max level in that game without using like a glitch that soon got patched out, like the Ogma Infinium one. The most legit thing I'd do in a Skyrim run at that time was I would just eat a bunch of ingredients I hadn't yet to get some easy levels and hopefully be able to get more skill points. It wasn't very resourceful. I just didn't take advantage of potions. And I had to become a mature adult to start doing it legit and becoming level 81 through actual methods in the game. Still, I just did it for levels. I wasn't in it for the love of the game or the love of the build. I still don't know what most of the potions in the game do. But one thing that's been really consistent in life for me is learning new words from video games. In some ways, a kid's first game console being like a Game Boy Advance has its benefits, because that little doohickey can barely run anything on it. Don't expect 3D models, don't expect anything beyond crunchy noises. So if a game wants to have a story, it has to do it in text. And your stupid little 8-year-old ass is gonna have to read if you want to enjoy it. Some of the most popular games of all time, Pokemon. On the back of the box, it says you need a basic reading ability to fully enjoy this game. And I had like a basic reading ability. Some of the words in Pokemon were not fucking basic. I'm sorry, when you were learning the alphabet and needed examples of what letters sounded like, which one of y'all's parents told you what facade meant? But the truth is, no matter how much you learn, there's always more to find out there, and that is especially true with language. The more things you know exist that you can say, the more you realize that you can never collect all of them. So I'm always learning, and I've always found the way that Skyrim's potions are named to be really fucking funny. Not in that they're named stupidly or in a pun sort of way, but rather that I've never gotten so much new information from one really little odd curiosity. It's like the equivalent of falling down a wiki rabbit hole because of somebody's typing quirk. Like, the big one is what different levels of potion are called in this game. And you know, maybe this is on me for not playing more RPGs growing up and being familiar with like fantasy terms, but consumables that are like in a little bottle that make like a stat change, I'm used to only really having from Pokemon as the 11-year-old I was when Skyrim first came out. So the first rank for most potions out there is just a potion. Potion of alteration, for example. It's a super potion, hyper potion, whichever. It's in Pokemon, I know that one! And then to stick with the alteration example, elixir is the top class of that type. That's the one that brings the PP back for the Pokemon move that I like. Elixir, it's from Pokemon, I know that one! The issue started when I looked at the in-between potion levels, and I realized that, hey, I also know these words from Pokemon, but they're not spelt like that. As a kid, I just assumed that it was like just some fantasy hogwash and they thought it looked cool and that's why they changed the spelling. But no, it turns out I was an idiot and a fucking little dumbass, because all 11-year-olds are. I learned the word drought because Pokemon Ruby was my first ever Pokemon game and Groudon was like sick as hell. But that thing had an O in it. What's a drought? It's the British spelling of draft? How is it even pronounced? I need to hear this. Why do these videos have 10-second long intros?
We are looking at how to pronounce this word.
Just say the word!
How to say more unclear words in English.
Why are you edging me, man? This video is 40 seconds and that's too long.
How do you go about pronouncing it?
How do you go about pronouncing it? I don't fucking know. That's why I'm here.
Draft.
Draft. And it pisses me off because I'm seeing it now, a GH can make a f sound. And so yeah, until the recording of this video, I did not realize I had been saying it wrong the whole time, and I did not know that word at all, even from Pokemon. But I can hold my chest proud when we look at the last standard rank for these potions. Sticking with the Fortify Alteration example because I am not creative, the last one is another alternate spelling to get a f sound, the filter of alteration. And like finding out that this was like apparently a really specific type of liquid that you can drink, I was like, no, it's not a generic fantasy term. I need more words to be made up. A drink supposed to arouse love and desire for a particular person in the drinker. A love potion. So if a filter is specifically supposed to be a love potion, it is very funny some of the things that the filter can make you fall in love with. The filter of lock picking. I mean, there is like that one dude on YouTube who proved that every lock ever is pointless and that you can get robbed if somebody's determined enough. So I guess if that guy had an agenda to spread, that would do him a lot of good. You got the filter that makes you love pickpocketing and also really good living it. Again, I can understand someone maybe getting addicted to the thrill of the chase or like just the risk that comes with it being really, really enlivening, as it were. But I feel like most people who pickpocket do it out of like necessity and their conditions being more what they are, not leaving them a choice. It's a cold world, but you still gotta live in it. Haven't millionaires with like 3 properties been caught in the past pretending to be homeless people? Like somebody got suspicious about them, followed them to their like 3-story mansion one time. Could be making this up or exaggerating it. Still funny. A few potions are blessed with an extra rank in the middle. It's not like an extra super powerful one. It's just another degree of separation between mids. I present to you the solution of regeneration. I'm sorry, if this is the solution, I shouldn't have to drink another potion of this type ever again after this. Like, you know there's laws against false advertising, man. Like, you said this was going to be the solution in the infomercial. Kind of fucked up and evil. Now, part of the reason I just never engaged with different names, meaning different level of effectiveness of a potion, was because the only potions I really needed to use on the regular were the ones that refilled your stats, like health, stamina, magicka, and all of those were named potion. They used adjectives to describe how good something was. It was mostly the size of the bottle that told you how much this shit was gonna do you. But other than that, the ascending order of adjectives is kind of funny. Like, the second tier is just a normal potion of healing. You would think that this is just the thing you're given at the start of the game, but no. There's a potion of minor healing. The first health potion of the game gets a descriptor saying, "This is dog shit." It implies a guy in the world who is really bad at alchemy, and his faults are making it harder for you to live because you found his dog shit little side project out in a shed next to his dead body because he died from one of his experiments. In ascending order, it goes from minor potion to just potion of whatever, then plentiful, then vigorous, then extreme, then ultimate. And it actually does kind of make me happy to see ultimate be used correctly, especially when solution wasn't earlier. Ultimate means final, man. People don't understand. Ultimate means final, the last one. And this is the last one. It restores all your health. This is the only thing you'll ever need as long as you have ready access to it. It's why Shadow the Hedgehog is the ultimate life form. He's supposed to be immortal and immune to disease. He's supposed to be the perfection of what life can be. Ultimate doesn't mean the greatest or the strongest. It just means the final iteration of. I'm so fucking autistic, dude. Now, most potions in the game I ever made only ever did one thing, and that was because I needed like an enchantment boost to just crack out a sword I wanted to use. But if you're sick nasty with the system, you can combine different effects into one potion, and some of the combinations have unique names like little flourishes. Capacity plus stamina is plunder. You're a soldier, one-handed light armor, it's conflict. This one cracks me up a little bit. Lockpicking plus pickpocketing, they go right together. Just 2 of the more stealth-based skills in the game associated with each other. That gets you a potion of larceny. Larceny is a sick-ass word, but when you look up the definition, it just feels really limp. Yeah, it's the theft of personal property. Larceny was when somebody let me borrow a pencil and I didn't give it back in 2nd grade. Now, this is where I know heads were definitely butting behind the scenes and notes weren't getting shared. I actually don't know that. I'm making that up in my brain as I say it. But the keen shot potions, a word I didn't learn until now, again. And it is a word, it just means sharpshooter. Okay, I guess that works. They do the usual escalation of potion, draught, filter, elixir. But no, we need 2 more levels. The Grand Elixir, a unique potion level name, and an adjective? How doth this process? There are a few unique potions that only show up under certain circumstances, or like they're one of a kind, so they don't really have different levels of effectiveness. Falmer Blood Elixir, restore 1 point of health. This shit is a tad hard to get a hold of, and you can't sell it for much at all. It does fuck all, but it's kind of like a little personal trophy you can take pride in, you know? I also have like a place in my heart for potions that have really fanciful names and just do really generic shit. The Velvet Lay Chance restores 25 stamina. The White Gold Tower also restores 25 stamina. It's crazy that they accurately emulated the effects of taking a stimulant within the game. If you take normal skooma, you know, that cheap shit you can get behind a gas station, you'll get 25 stamina back while tripping balls. You're able to continue because you don't feel the pain. But if you have that good shit, that red water skooma, ooh, that's 40 stamina, man. You can get through the rest of the night. You can counteract the dragon spirit you just ate earlier. I also love the potion that turns you literally into Regigigas. It's literally named the Sleeping Tree Sap. Health is increased by 100 points and slower movement speed for 45 seconds. It's fucking terrible. But just looking at him, man, he looks chill. You gotta appreciate it. Now, the potions that hurt people are called poisons, and they get their own really, really unique adjectives. You know, you got your weak, your potent, your deadly, your virulent. Really only heard that that word in terms of STDs, and now that I think about it, it fits here then. Now ask me as a kid if I knew what the hell malign meant, because I didn't. I probably thought Maleficent, because I'd seen the remake as a fucking little dumbass tween. Sorry, not Maleficent, fucking Snow White and the Huntsman, with Kristen Stewart, Charlize Theron, and Chris Hemsworth. Holy shit, how is this movie not burned into my brain? But yeah, it just kind of alternates between STD and very, very strong dislike, because I'll be honest, I didn't learn the word malign from Skyrim. I never used alchemy enough at that age to figure out that that was a word even in the game. I like that the weakness to magic potion is called an aversion to magic. It implies that they're just like not a huge fan. They try to avoid it where they can, bars. Oh, I have a deadly aversion to magic, man. I'm allergic to seeing men all over the place. Shut the fuck up. You're making that up so you don't have to go to Winterhold College like your brother. It does bring to mind one of the most timeless Skyrim images I think that exists. A custom enchanted ring. Magic isn't real, you idiot. It's only worth 30 doubloons because no shit, magic isn't real. I didn't need you to tell me that. Increases magic resistance by 118%. In fact, every potion that makes a target weaker to a certain element for a period of time is called an aversion to the thing. Apparently people have really strong opinions on the school of magic that you practice in Skyrim, which, you know, fair enough. That is probably something that would happen. And I'm just talking about the names, man. The recipes to make certain things and the completely different recipes that will get you the same potion effect, that is a whole different story. Like, the ins and outs of the alchemy system in Skyrim are fucking cooked, in that it fries my brain. But I am not against losing lobes in the skull for the sake of content. If y'all want to see that happen, make sure you run this video up. Just drop a like, we'll see how it goes. That's all I got. That kwytebox email's in the description if you want to send me video topics. Anyways, piss off with love.